Hello and welcome to Qatar 365, the show that offers a fresh outlook on Doha and the local neighbourhood. I'm Miranda Rassi, and on this special episode, looking ahead to the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022, we're shining a spotlight on accessibility and empowerment during the Games. Let's get straight into it.
Coming up, we explore the sensory rooms offering a peaceful escape for football fans and discover the transformative power of the beautiful game at the Street Child World Cup.
The goal of Qatar 2022 is clear: to make sure everybody has an equal opportunity to enjoy the World Cup. And the hope is the tournament's legacy will live on far beyond the final whistle. Adil Halim takes us inside a sensory room here at Education City Stadium.
Ahmed Habib is an avid football fan who can't wait for Qatar 2022 to finally kick off.
I think that everything is in place for this to be the most accessible edition of the FIFA World Cup. Work has begun from a very long time by including members of the disabled community, by putting in place the highest standards at tournament venues, but also by making sure that the tournament plays a transformative role in ensuring that the whole country becomes more accessible.
He works for the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy, the government body that oversees everything related to the World Cup, and hopes this will usher in a new era for the country.
It's very rare to have stadiums like we do here in Qatar. All 8 stadiums are brand new, giving the opportunity for wheelchair users like me to sit in multiple areas of the stadium, to have multiple vantage points.
But making a stadium accessible goes beyond just having a row of wheelchair-friendly seating.
The roar of the crowd is one of the many reasons people love watching live sporting events. But it's not for everyone. So here at Education City Stadium, a sensory room provides a calm and safe space for young fans with autism and other cognitive disabilities to reduce their anxiety during the world's largest sporting event.
Sana Abu Majid began working on this room in 2020 to get it ready for last year's Arab Cup. She was approached for her insight after she helped set up a sensory room at the Renat Academy, a school that helps children with autism.
Most of the people who are neurodivergent can get overwhelmed by noises, can get bothered by lighting, can find crowded settings really, discomforting. That's where a sensory room comes into play. These environments are meant to calm and relax individuals.
Sabika Shaban founded Qatar Disability Resource to bring together the country's disability stakeholders. She knows there will be bumps along the way.
So the movement for accessibility in itself is a challenge. We're talking about really diverse needs and trying to understand that accessibility is more than just installing a ramp and providing signs in Braille is really important. It's just a lot more sophisticated than that.
She says a lot of grassroots work has been done to promote accessibility for future football tournaments.
What FIFA has done, which is really amazing, is highlight some of those voices and make them more important. So having, for instance, a lot of representational voices at every step of the way, designing stadia, designing the fan experience, for instance, has sort of set a precedent that these voices are integral to anything you design moving forward.
One prominent voice is that of Ghaname El Tawil. She's a self-proclaimed troublemaker because she loves to question things and challenge the status quo. El Tawil participated in the last mile audit of the Education City Stadium and offered her recommendations on changing signage, lighting, and the designated routes for people with disabilities.
And yes, we assessed the metro and the tram. So I think the tram, they implemented it, which is the wheelchair, they call it the wheelchair tray. You're supposed to ask for it before you actually ride the tram, but we told them this should not be asked for. It should be available at all times. It was locked behind closed doors. There's no need to lock them, so that will also change.
She strongly believes in the motto, nothing about us without us.
It means we are at the table from the beginning. We are not here just to tick a box at the end of we had people from the disability community come and see it, so we're done. No, we are at the beginning. Our input is valuable. You have to, we know our needs more than anybody else. And we look at the bigger picture and we look at the personal experience.
The hope now is that first-hand experience will lead to a more enjoyable World Cup viewing experience for everyone.
Football is often called the beautiful game because of the visual artistry of its best players. But for Street Child United, the beauty of football goes far beyond that. The organisation uses the sport as a global platform for street children, empowering them to speak out and demand the opportunities, rights and support they deserve.
Football is a universal language. All these young people speak it, but the whole world speaks it.
With the eyes of the world on Qatar for the FIFA World Cup, one man, John Rowe, is determined that some of that focus will go to street children. This is the Street Child World Cup 2022.
I love playing football. I just feel like when things are going wrong in your life, I feel like that's how you can escape that, really. And I just feel it's just the best thing in the world.
What I take from the tournament are experiences from different people I've met. People came from different countries. Well, I always hoped that we'd reach this moment and this would be the place for us to show our abilities and to show the world that we have a voice.
13 girls teams and 15 boys teams have come from all over the globe. Arriving here to Qatar was difficult for many, with access to identity documents a huge issue. Every story and every struggle is unique. Sandhya Shankar is the captain of India Girls.
They said Karanalaya Home takes care of kids and they rescued us and got us there. I didn't have any proof. I needed a birth certificate, Aadhaar card, community certificate. I had none of these. After I came to Karanalaya, they helped me get the Aadhaar card. Then I struggled to get a passport. They needed my dad's death certificate, caste certificate, birth certificate, for which there was a lot of struggle.
Despite coming from diverse countries, what's striking is the similarity of issues affecting street-connected children. Brooke Reed is the Activation Programme Manager for Qatar Foundation, who are hosting the Street Child World Cup at the Oxygen Park space.
A key part of it is recognising that these young people often don't have access to things that they need in life to improve their condition, whether it's access to education, the right to an identity, and being part of this tournament gives them that opportunity. Team Bangladesh, 3 of the young people did not have access to birth certificates and in turn passports, because within the legal structure there, they don't have that for people who are living on the street and don't know their families. So through the advocacy that's being done by the NGOs in the country, they're now enabling young people, 1.5 million young people across Bangladesh, to have that access to those papers.
Jennifer is a member of the Colombia girls team, who over the course of the tournament make it all the way to the final. Despite being beaten in their last game by a competitive Brazil, the experience has provided lasting lessons.
Through this tournament, I've realised that countries are interconnected. We live the same history. And what we want is equality, where women can feel safe and participate in football, which is the most common sport, and the sport that fills us with happiness, love and satisfaction, and gives us a peaceful environment.
As for the boys' teams, in the end, a triumphant Egypt just edged past Pakistan.
But it's about more than just football. In a model similar to the United Nations, the teams have their own closed-door congress to discuss issues directly affecting vulnerable young people living in street situations. And for these kids, perhaps most importantly, it's also a safe space where they can share their own personal experiences.
What was really interesting about Brazil was that their street culture is a lot similar to the street culture in UK, about the knife violence, gun crime and stuff like that, and it was just really interesting to know that it was similar.
At the end of the tournament, the young people put forward their demands in a general assembly. They are calling for fundamental human rights, identity, protection from violence, access to education, and gender equality.
We believe that no child should ever have to live and work on the streets. We're looking for a future for all children, free from fear, free from violence, free from abuse. We volunteered at a street child organisation in South Africa in 2010. We met a boy called Andile, who'd been on the streets for 10 years. He was 14 when we met him, so from the age of 4, he lived on the streets. And we played football. And afterwards, Andile said, when people see me on the streets, they say I am a street child. But then when they see me playing football, they say I am a person. I'm a person like you. And that was the crux of the idea. We realised that football could be used to change the way that people see Andile. And if we can change the way that street children are seen, we can begin to change the way that street children are treated.
Bringing together these street-connected children and using this experience to advocate for real, tangible change, John Rowe's Street Child World Cup is proof that football can indeed have the power to transform reality.
And the countdown is well and truly on. It won't be long now until excited fans fill these seats cheering for their country. And that's all we've got time for on this episode. But as always, if you have any questions, just reach out via our hashtag Qatar365. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out Euronews.com for more and join us again next time on Qatar365.